Legislation just making its way out the gate in the state capitol, facing opposition.
House Bill 1994 will undermine the criminal justice system and our accountability that we're trying to build within it.
Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison against the measure that, if passed, would allow misdemeanor and gross misdemeanors to be dismissed if defendants comply with court-ordered conditions. Those would ultimately be up to a judge on a case-by-case basis.
This will leave out prosecutors from the conversation.
The legislation applies to almost all misdemeanor cases, with some exceptions, including DUIs after the first offense and domestic violence. Davison says in 2023, her office charged more than 1,700 assault cases.
If you were to have this bill in place, all of those defendants could have asked to halt the prosecution of those cases for an entire year, leaving victims with no voice in the process and with no remedy at the end.
This is not a blank check to anyone. This is an opportunity to be creative and to meet people where they're at, which I think is really missing in our criminal legal systems.
Representative Daria Farivar, who's sponsoring the legislation, says most people end up in the criminal justice system due to behavioral and mental health disabilities, and this bill is aimed at reducing recidivism rates.
What we've been doing has not been working, so it's time to create a more meaningful opportunity that can be individualized based on what the individual what their challenges are.
Representative Farivar says cases where felonies were pled down to misdemeanors would not apply. The King County Sexual Assault Resource Center is asking for sexual assault crimes to be an exemption as well. Representative Farivar tells us she is working with the group on amendments to the legislation and will continue to track this as it moves forward.